welcome to another Vlogmas video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And you know what day it is? Well, I mean, you might not know what day it is. You might, because you've seen the title of this video. It's Christmas gift guide day. Christmas kismet has come together, and it just so happens that every time I wear this jumper, I mean today I've put it on for the purposes of this video, but I've always got this jumper on when it's Christmas gift guide day. I realise I haven't been telling you where all the Christmas jumpers are from. This is from H&M. Years ago, like I'm talking like 10 years ago. I think it was $6.99. It's rather thin, so it goes well on top of things, like because I've got it on top of this dress that I also consider a candy cane dress. But yeah, it's nice. It's got big fun things on. I think there's a slice of pizza on it somewhere. There it is. Yeah, well, here we are for Christmas gift guide time. I love a Christmas gift guide. I love watching a Christmas gift guide. I love making a Christmas gift guide. And this year I've gone heavy on the books. I've got, well, I'm going to say I've got 11 books, but one of those books includes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 books from a series of books. So yeah, I've gone heavy on the books this year. And then book it, so there'll be 5 books either side, and then in the middle there'll be a sort of little section that are not bookish, but gifts that I have either given or received that I think would be good for this year. I will warn you and say, if you know me in real life, now is the time to leave, because you will probably see some Christmas gifts that are meant for you that are appearing in this video, because I stand by it. It's a Christmas gift guide, of which some of these things I've bought for people that I know. Right, let's kick off. So the first thing I've got is the Christmassiest, is it the Christmassiest thing on this list? It's one of 2 very, very Christmassy things on this list, and it's the Phaidon Christmas book. I mean, look how beautiful this is. If you have somebody in your life that is very into Christmas and into the sort of nostalgia of Christmas, this is the book for them. Phaidon make amazing cookery books that are normally sort of specific to a cuisine. I know my cousin Laura's husband Tom has the German cookery book, but I've seen all sorts and they're always amazing, very sort of thorough, and lots in there. And then this is made by Phaidon, and it is a collection of items and pictures of those items with an accompanying Christmas passage. So here we've got a piece of art by Henry Matisse. We've got all sorts of things. We've got, so there's lots of art and stuff in here, but there's also a jingle abra, and there's an upside down Christmas tree that appeared in the Tate Britain in 2016, and just lots and lots of stuff to sort of browse through and have a lovely time looking at these different pieces of art and these different things that have appeared. So like some of the stuff is from within my lifetime and some stuff I'm really familiar with. So Wallace and Gromit, these are the stamps that were issued by the Royal Mail in 2010. It always feels quite Christmassy to me, Wallace and Gromit. And then we've got a letter to Santa Claus. And yeah, we've just got all sorts of different pieces of art, like a magazine front cover there from Esquire. And yeah, just loads and loads of lovely Christmassy bits. And this is the sort of thing that you could get out every Christmas and have a lovely look through. There we go, there's a film poster for Home Alone 3. And have a look through and see if anybody remembers these things, see like, and sort of make lovely memories reading this book. It's a really, really nice piece and a sort of lovely, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. A lovely thing to sort of get out year on year, I think. And I've had a lovely time flicking through it, like, but when I received it, plus doing it now. But yeah, maybe I need to spend more time with that, because yeah, it's a lovely, lovely thing. So yeah, Phaidon, the Christmas book. I think it's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Next up, from one gorgeous book to another, lot of gorgeous books. I like to sort of include series of books, and maybe Christmas is a time where you'd like to start giving somebody something that you can continue to buy them. And I've done this before with the penguin cloth bound classics, and then the miniature clip penguin cloth bound classics and things like that. But I wanted to highlight how beautiful the Macmillan Collectors Library are. Woohoo! So I've got 10 here, all sorts of different things, and there is a huge back catalogue of books that are in the Macmillan's Collectors Library. So if somebody's got a particular classic they're really into, that will probably be published by them, as well as some collections of short stories and some more modern classics as well that they may not know about. They look gorgeous. If I just take a couple here, so Here we go. Here's The Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Many Lands by Mary Seacole. So they've got non-fiction as well as fiction. And Passing by Nella Larson. And they're always this duck egg blue at the top with the gold writing, then reflected on the spine with like gold, and then the duck egg blue there with a lovely picture on the front. And then underneath, oh sorry, the edges are gold as well, and you get a little ribbon bookmark as well. And then underneath, they're this sort of embossed gold, embossed sort of duck egg blue with these sort of leaf embossing underneath, and it's just they're just absolutely gorgeous. What I really like about them is that they're very small. I feel very sort of Jane Austen, like Elizabeth Bennet reading a little book in the library, because they fit perfectly in your hands, and they're just gorgeous things to own. So I'll just show you a lot of the ones that I've got here, just so that you can get an idea of what we've got. So I've already showed you Passing by Nella Larson, a modern classic. Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Many Lands by Mary Seacole. Then I've got one that I read this year, Like Rise to Candleford by Flora Thompson, sorry, that's a larger one. I've got I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith, which I have read before, but I'm looking forward to rereading. I love this front cover, it's so joyful as well. Then I've got Black Voices on Britain, which is edited by Hakim Ali. And I've got Women of the Harlem Renaissance, which are poems and stories edited by Marissa Constantinou. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. You may have seen me mention the fact that a few times this year that I've wanted to reread this. I wanted to read this. I didn't read this in school, and I actually did a whole exam on it. So I'd like to read this, and I've heard it's wonderful. So it's North and South. Then they do some Christmassy bits as well. So if you're interested in buying somebody a Christmassy book for Christmas, then this is where you need to go. So Classic Christmas Crime Stories, which are edited by David Stewart Davis. So there's all this mistletoe and yeah, fun. And there's like classic Christmas crime stories such as like The Blue Carbuncle and other stuff in there. Then we've got Round About the Christmas Tree, a miscellany, love that word, of festive stories, and this is edited by Becky Brown. So it's got lots of different stories plus poems and things like that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then the last one I've got this Christmassy is Poems for Christmas, which is introduced by Judith Flanders, and there's loads and loads of different Christmas poems in there. So yeah, I think they're a great series of books. They look beautiful, they're really cute and little as well, so they'll look lovely on the shelf next to each other. But I just wanted to raise a little highlight. If you wanted to start getting somebody a series of something, they're lovely and a bit more affordable than the Penguin cloth bound classics that I've mentioned before. Next up is a book that I got myself for my birthday, so you might well have seen this, me mention this recently, but I just think it's a lovely, lovely gift to receive, as I did receive it. And I also think it's a nice thing to be able to give somebody that lasts the whole year, or a book or an experience or something that just keeps on going the whole year. This is The Year of Wonder by Clemency Burton Hill, and it's a classical piece of music for every day. So David and I have been getting into classical music a little bit more. It started when we went on our mini moon last year, and the hotel we were staying in, our room had Classic FM on all the time, and we were like, this is lovely. It was Christmas, so there was loads of Christmassy music, and we sort of haven't really switched off from Classic FM from them really. And we love listening to all types of different times of the day. We like the more rousing stuff sort of in the morning, getting us up and ready for the day. We love the stuff that's on really late at night, the chill stuff. We really like the Saturday night show with Jonathan Ross, where they talk about films from the music from the films, from the movies. And yeah, I've been thinking myself that I really would like to get myself into something, get to know classical music a little bit more, and like, because a lot of the stuff I maybe recognise the film it's from, or I think, oh, that's been on an advert, but I don't know the composers behind these pieces, and I really would like to, and then maybe get to know what I like, because there's definitely classical music I like and classical music I don't like, and I thought this would be a good, great place to start. So I'm filming this on the 1st of December, and you get a different piece of classical music to listen to every day, which I just go and listen to on Spotify, and then read up about it afterwards. So today's is O Magnum Mysterium by Morten Lauridsen. So yeah, this is and then it's got like a passage about that, so I would go and listen to that, read the passage, and then sort of think, oh, well, if I did like that, maybe I know now that that's by Morten Lauridsen. Is there any more stuff by that person that I enjoy? So yeah, I thought this was a good place to start in terms of classical music. And I also love these books that are sort of like something for a day. There's hundreds of these poetry books, like a poem for every night of the year. You know that when I do my Friday reading vlogs, I read through a poem for every spring day, a poem for every autumn day. There's lots and lots and lots of that. So if you've got something that you'd like you want to be interested in, or sorry, if you've got something that someone's interested in, then this might be a great place to start with, like something for every day of the year, a book that includes everything for the day of the year. So yes, and I'm looking forward to really getting to use this next year and having a lovely time with it. Next up, it's a present I've got for my mother. So Mum, if you didn't go when you first started watching this, you've had your warning now, so you're going to see what you're getting for Christmas. And air fryers are a big thing at the moment, aren't they? I always like to include a cookbook in a gift guide, because I do think that they are, in the same way that the year of wonder and the something of every day of the year is a gift that keeps giving, cookbooks are also a gift that keeps giving, because you will be referring back to those. My mum has got so into her air fryer this year, she said to me, I barely even turn my oven on anymore. David's sister is also quite into her air fryer, so I wonder if we'll end up getting this one for her as well. But it's Poppy, so it's Poppy Cooks, the Actually Delicious Air Fryer Cookbook. So this is by Poppy O'Toole, who became sort of Insta famous. She's a chef and has been for many years, but sort of lost her job at the beginning of the pandemic and became Insta famous, doing TikToks and things like that about potatoes. So she's sort of like the potato girl, you might know her from that. But she's now got this amazing Actually Delicious air fryer book, and I feel like, because my mum, when she cooks from the air fryer, she'll cook either oven cooked food, or she got given an air fryer cookbook with that book, and she with that air fryer, and she cooks from there. But this has got really sort of like modern fun stuff. It isn't vegetarian, so I'm vegetarian, so it's got meat and vegetarian stuff in here. So this is salt and pepper chicken bites, for example, honey soy salmon, crispy potato cubes, wedges. It's making me old. Crispy kale, yes please. There's some stuffed peppers here, vegan fritters, onion bhajis. Yeah, and it's set into really cool sections. Also, another thing I like to do when I give someone a cookbook is be like, if you're interested in making this for me, I'd be interested in that. So it's set into meat, fish, spuds and sides, and sweet treats, which is very exciting because it's even got sweet stuff in here. So roasted rum glazed pineapple, brownies, flapjacks. And yeah, I just think it's a really accessible, great air fryer cookbook. And air fryers are having a real moment at the moment. So if you know somebody that loves their air fryer, then surely they're going to love their air fryer cookbook. So there we go. And then the last book of this section, before we get into the non-bookish stuff, are some little puzzling books. So if you are like me, that's David just blowing his nose there, Merry Christmas. If you're like me and on Christmas Day, sometimes you just like a little moment to yourself. I know my dad is definitely like that as well. I sometimes like to just take myself off and have a little look through my books and stuff like that. But these are great books that can entertain on Christmas and all sort of through the year. They are puzzle books, and they're the Murdle puzzle books. So I'm already about a third of the way through the first one, but there's 3 now, and this is the second one, More Killer Puddles, Murdle. And they're by GT Carver, and they are logic puzzles. So you may well have seen these logic puzzles before, where you get 3 suspects, well a bit later on you get more than that, 3 locations and 3 weapons, and it gives you some little clues, and you have to sort of work out who might have been where and who's done that, and then you find out that maybe the murder took place, or the person who was holding the axe definitely didn't do the murder, and like you get these clues until you work out who it is. And it's a whole sort of story that includes these puzzles, and like I said, like they're absolutely engrossing. I've had a really, really wonderful time with them, and now I've got a second book. So yeah, I think these are really great books for maybe people who don't read as much but enjoy a puzzle, people who like Sudokus and stuff like that. I feel like these are great things, and you can really have a good time working through them. There's 100 puzzles in each of them, so yeah, really great. So the non-bookish side of things, I've got 5 things here that I wanted to bring to your attention. And the first thing might be that you'd like to make somebody a cross stitch for Christmas. I've certainly done that before, one year for birthdays. I gave everybody a little cross stitch for their birthday, which was lovely. I've got a great company that you can get cross stitch patterns from, and the cross stitch stuff. They're called Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I've been doing this Christmassy cross stitch, which is a stitch along. I mean, I'm so delighted with how it's going. I've still got like over, well, 3/4 of the way to go, but they're an amazing company. Again, they are people that I have bought Christmas presents from this year, and they do lovely little accessories like these hoops that you'll need. The Ada is sometimes a different colour to the normal sort of Ada you can get, and you can get these little needle catchers, which are just cute little things to go with it. And the stitch along project, they gave you different parts, so they do those all through the year, and they gave me different parts so you could sort of keep up with it, and just stitch along with other people and things like that. So that's very, very nice. And they've got all sorts of kits on there, from beginners to children's kits and stuff like that. And I've had a lovely, lovely experience with them. I also bought this little Christmas tree that keeps all my thread on it. I mean, adorable. But if you wanted to be a little bit more like, if you could make up your own pattern. They're very, very simple to make up patterns. Buy yourself a sheet of or print off a sheet of paper with squares on and make your own pattern and stuff like that. That's certainly what I've done for other people. I remember making my friend Amy one from having a bridesmaid's quote on it, which said, I can't remember, the one about the cookie where it's like, I'm gonna eat that fucking cookie or something like that. And then I've made other, I've done David a Back to the Future one and things like that. So you could make your own pattern. Alternatively, you could get books. There's plenty of books around, and this is sort of like a gift to you maybe that would keep giving, because it would mean that you could carry on doing lots and lots of like projects all the way through the year. So here we go. Here's a bookmark that says read a fucking book. This is from Lit Stitch by Book Riot. It's got the patterns on here for you, so the patterns are already done. That's one with lots of different rainbow colour books on, and then also ISBN Thinking About You. That's very cute, isn't it? So these are very bookish things. But I've also got Cross Stitch or Die Trying, 30 patterns for hip hop lovers. And this is very, very fun. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. I mean, these sort of things in cross stitch is hilarious. Every day I'm cross stitching. Move, bitch. Damn right it's better than yours. And then a picture of a milkshake. So there's loads and loads of these things out there where you could get it. Alternatively, if you think someone wants to get into a hobby or something that they could keep doing, you could buy somebody one of these books and a bit of Ada and maybe some thread and a cross stitch ring. You can get these things from craft stores online, and I just think it's a really nice thing. I've had such a lovely time doing my cross stitch, and it's a really good thing to do in front of the telly. And for someone like me, who has tried knitting and has tried sewing and I'm just not that good at it, this is my craft that I can do, and I can produce good stuff with it and be really proud of myself. So there we go. Next up is somebody I just wanted to point you in the direction of, because I've just had a lovely time with all of her bits this year, and that's Eleanor Bowmer. Throughout my house there are things that are dotted that are Eleanor Bowmer. So I've got some Christmas prints here on the wall, and I will insert little clips of these now. Christmas prints here on the wall. I've got a Christmas cushion on my sofa at the moment that David's sister bought me for my birthday. I've got Christmas bedding on the bed. Little tip here, buy your bedding in January and you get it for absolutely cheaper than you normally would. But she also does other non-Christmassy stuff. So I've got other prints in the house. I've got mugs that sadly aren't here at the moment because they are they're in storage because they're not Christmas mugs. I've got a tablecloth. They do aprons, pajamas. We bought David's sister's dog a dog harness from there before. It's just really bright, fun stuff. Oh, the wallpaper in my lounge, not this one, but the multicoloured one, that's Eleanor Bowmer as well. She just makes amazingly fun stuff, and she's got a really great sort of online presence on Instagram at the moment. She's doing karaoke and dressing up as different people every day and having a right laugh with it, and I've been very much enjoying following her and her career, and I just love her stuff. Like, it just really speaks to me. When I see stuff, it makes me feel really happy. I'm looking at these pictures now. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and kind of feels like Christmas. I love all of that stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to point somebody in the direction of that, because if you're looking for gifts on there, they've got very good sort of like maybe Secret Santa stuff and little gift kits, and in particular if you don't live near that person you're giving the gift to, I know you can get like a gift kit where the box would just arrive with the gift ready to go. So yeah, hopefully you'll find that helpful. But from one sort of gifting Secret Santa thing to another, I feel like it's really difficult now to get a nice gift that's like around £5, and I haven't been able to get a gift that is £5. I don't know what, I haven't taken part in a Secret Santa for many, many years now, but I bought myself a candle from Sainsburys, and it was £6 in the Sainsburys sale. It's currently £6 in the Sainsburys sale, I've checked. So I think it's £8 normally, and it's 25% off at the moment, Habitat. But it is this gorgeous, and I think it looks so expensive, and you can definitely use this jar afterwards. Frosted glass with these little pine trees painted on in white. It's pine smelling, it smells beautiful. It's very, very sort of subtle in the air, and I've really got into pine scent this year. But they've also got a massive one of these as well, that David's got his mum for Christmas, and that's £11.25. I think that was £15, and that's very big, and that's 3 weeks. But this is just a lovely sort of £6 little thing. Maybe if £6 might be the new £5 in terms of a Secret Santa, and I just thought it just looked posh. It smells nice, it's Christmassy, you can light it and have it on all sort of year round. And definitely over the Christmas period. And then also in the same range, and I've ended up buying this one for my sister, they've got, again, this is Fir Balsam is the scent, but it's this little tiny bauble with this sort of like leopard printy stained glass top that comes off. And you could use these pots so beautifully afterwards as well. Like once that candle's gone, you can use this. And then like I think this is like mango wood or something underneath. They also do these in the big one. But I just thought this was so nice. My sister's much more of a minimalist than I am. And she enjoys sort of natural tones and stuff like that in her house. And I could just really see this sat on her kitchen side and then using it afterwards as well. And yeah, that was £6 as well. So I just feel like these are very cute little gifts that I think would please many people if you had them in a Secret Santa. Next up, I've got a bit big with this, but I've picked a record player. So David got a record player from his parents about 8 years ago, maybe. He's not listening. It's here. It's under this Christmassy stuff. When did you get your record player, David?
When?
When? Yeah, about 8 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
It's a long time. David and I have been together. It's here. We've used it forever. I don't think it was a super, super top of the range one. I think it was probably around, I think it's around £50. And you can get them from around that price point. Now, I see them often in charity shops, but it's a lovely thing to do. We really, really enjoy popping a record on, and we've really built our record collection over the years since David has received that one. So the point of this being is that if you can get your hands, if somebody owns a record player, then great, you're set for gifts forever. But to spend a little bit more and maybe give that person a record player, you've then got records at your disposal. So I mean, just now for my birthday I've just received the Aurora by the Aurora vinyl from Daisy Jones and the Six, but there's loads and loads of stuff. So I've got Six the Musical, I've got Hercules, so I've got we've got plenty of Christmas stuff. And as well as being able to buy sort of new things, they forever have records on sale at boot fairs, in charity shops, and they're, I mean, at boot fairs we've bought records for 50p, and then at charity shops and stuff like that you can get them for reasonably cheap as well. And I just think it's a really good way of sort of gifting somebody something that then you can get them that sort of thing forever, in the same way that the Macmillan's Collector's Library. But yeah, we've had a great time. I'm not a big one for music. I would always opt for an audiobook, but there are certain bits of music that I love. I love Kate Nash, for example, and David has bought me like my favourite album from forever ago on vinyl, and I can now listen to it on the record player. And there's just something special about like maybe having a few friends round and popping some records on and saying, oh, you put the next record on. And when we got married, we took all of our Christmas records and we had them in the marquee, and we just said, oh, anytime anyone hears that there's no music playing, just stick another record on. And David and I sometimes like to sit and pop a record on, and David will do his Sudoku and I'll do my Murdle puzzle and stuff like that. So yeah, I really feel like it's a very nice gift to receive. And then the last thing was something that doesn't exist. So I was thinking about, everyone has got so much stuff, haven't they? And I was thinking about gifts that you could give somebody that don't exist, and gifts that you can use your skills to give to somebody else. So you could make sort of little gift certificates and stuff where you're going to help somebody out or do something for that person, and that can be given in a gift certificate. So if I'm looking at sort of like my skill set, I would say I'm very good at recommending books. So take me along book shopping with you for a day and I will recommend books for you, and if you tell me this, I'll be able to tell you what books you might want. Also, I've become very, very adept at cleaning this year. So let me clean your kitchen, let me clean your bathroom. Here's three times. I'm going to clean your bathroom 3 times next year. I'm going to clean your kitchen 3 times next year. Those sort of things. Also maybe like watching a series together or something like that, like committing your time to that person, particularly if that person doesn't live near you. You could say, my gift to you is that in 2024 we are going to watch all of Succession together, and you can watch it at the same time, or you can watch it together in person and then discuss it, and it's just sort of like the gift of your time. If I'm looking at like skills that don't belong to me, I would love it if somebody that I knew who was good at makeup would say, I'm going to do your makeup for you one day. If you've got something coming up, I will do your makeup, or I'm going to bake you something. I'm looking at all these things that I don't have the skills of. I'll teach you how to do this. I'll teach you how to use the sewing machine, and like those sort of things. Like, I just think it's a really valuable thing to be able to pass the gift of your time or the gift of a skill that you've got onto somebody else. Yeah, so I thought that was a nice little idea. So that's my last non-bookish item. Then we move on to the last 5 books. 6 books. So the first thing is a book for children, but also for adults as well as children, because I love this. I've bought this series of books for many children that are in my life over the years, from the You Choose series, but this is You Choose Christmas, by Nick Sharratt, who is the illustrator of all the Jacqueline Wilson books, and that's where I sort of know him from. It's very nostalgic looking at this for me, and Pippa Goodhart. And yeah, you just, well, it says here, there's over 2 million You Choose books sold. So this one in particular, you work your way through picking different bits for Christmas, and it's not all like, what would you like present wise? It's like, Christmas is coming and there's lots to do and make. Will you step out snowflakes or decorate the cake? And like, here are 24 things that you could do on the run up to Christmas, from writing a letter to Santa, picking out a Christmas tree, hanging your stocking, going to a party, tidying up, making a cake, feeding the birds. And then you move on to the next page, which is spicy smells, ringing bells, a busy bustling street. Look around and choose yourself a special Christmas treat. And here is a beautiful illustration of a Christmas market, and there's loads and loads of different stalls of things you can treat yourself to. Here's a bookstore, here's a greengrocer's, here's a bakery, here's a, I think that's a fancy dress place. They've got a hot drink stall, hats, roasted nuts, toys, little, and like, you could just look through here and pick what you treat. So it's a really good thing to do with children, or with your husband, as I have been doing, but also I think kids would really sit and engage with this. Here's a big one where you pick a decoration for your tree, and yeah, it just works all the way through. I'm not going to show you all of it because obviously you want some of this. I've just said, oh, there's a, here we go. Now at last it's Christmas Eve. Here's Santa in his sleigh. Choose a place to fall asleep and dream the night away. And where would you might like to sleep? Here. I think I would pick maybe the windmill. That looks nice. Although I just want it to be cosy, to be honest. So warmth, 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 warmth. I mean, some of these high-rise flats look nice with the little little fairy lights outside. Yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. So a really, really nice Christmassy gift that I think kids will enjoy getting out sort of every Christmas. I've bought 5 copies of this this year for various children in my life, and I hope that they continue to get it out sort of all year round. Oh my God, I've just seen the festive food page. That's one of my favourites. Right, next up, the last sort of section of books are books that have either made a big impact this year or books I think are going to have a moment next year. It's fun to buy books that you have read that you can discuss with people once they've read them, but I've also picked in here some books that I haven't read yet that I think are, as I said, either going to have a big moment or have just had a big moment. So 2 hardbacks, because it's fun to receive hardbacks, isn't it? But I've also gone for 3 paperbacks because, let's be honest, reading paperbacks is easier. But 2 hardbacks that I feel like, well, one that I've read this year and has been amazing and such a page turner is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I bought this for somebody this year. This is the copy that I bought for somebody. My copy's up there. This is an amazing literary thriller about plagiarism and cultural appropriation, and it's really atmospheric and page turny. And yeah, I just had a great time reading this, and I feel like it's a great one to give to somebody, potentially with plans for you both to read it and then have a discussion about it. But also, like, I just think if you are into reading and you like a page turner, you're going to really, really love this. So that's that one. And then one that I haven't read is Chain Gang All Stars by Nanakwemi J. Brenya, and this sounded really sort of page turning and engaging as well. So this is about it's about a reality TV show that is inside America's prison system, and it says here, in packed arenas watched by millions of live stream viewers, prisoners compete as gladiators for the ultimate prize, their freedom. And people sort of tend to get favourites within there and like would want to vote for their favourites and be really disappointed when they don't get through and stuff like that. It sounds like it's a real good observation on sort of like reality TV, and also there's going to be a lot in there about the American prison system. So yeah, I feel like these are 2, I mean, like I said, I've read this one, but both of them sound amazing. This one also sounds amazing. So yeah, 2 hardbacks that have just come out this year. And then I've got 3 paperbacks that I think are really going to have a moment next year. The first one is Stolen by Anne Helen Lastadius. I actually just received this as a gift as well. This is about to be made into a Netflix film, so that's why I've sort of picked this, because I think it's going to have a moment. It is about an indigenous group of people called the Sami people, who are Scandinavia's indigenous people, and they make their living herding reindeer, and it's about a young girl within that group called Elsa who has witnessed a crime and the fallout from that. But yeah, it's going to be made into a film, so I'd love to be that person who's read the book before the film. So that's that one. Then I picked the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor's Jenkins Reid. Another reason I picked this is that I picked this up secondhand in a charity shop, and I see it all the time in charity shops. This copy I picked up in a charity shop is brand new. The spine hasn't even been sullied. So if you're looking for a cheaper option, or you like to buy second hand, then you're probably going to be able to get your hands on this in a charity shop. Like I say, I see it in a charity shop all the time. Daisy Jones and the Six has been made into a TV show this year, and the rights of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn and Hugo were, they started production on this year. So even if this adaptation isn't out next year, it's going to be out soon. And yeah, I love Daisy Jones and the Six, and I've got very high hopes about The Seven Husbands of Evelyn and Hugo. A lot of people told me that they enjoyed this much more than Daisy Jones and the Six, so there we go. And like I said, hopefully you'll be able to get that in a charity shop. And then the last one I picked is True Biz by Sarah Novick. I think this is going to be shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction, longlisted, sorry. And yeah, it just sounds very sort of timely. There's great representation in terms of the deaf community in here, and this is set in the River Valley School, which is a school for deaf kids, and they want to, those kids want to hook up, pass their history finals, and have politicians, doctors and their parents stop telling them what to do with their bodies. It says this revelatory novel plunges readers into the halls of residential school for the deaf, where they'll meet Charlie, a rebellious transfer student who's never met another deaf person before, Austin, the school's golden boy and whose world is rocked when his baby sister is born hearing, and February, the hearing headmistress, a coda, which means child of deaf adults, who is fighting to keep her school open and her marriage intact, but might not be able to do both. So there we go. Let me know what you think of the Christmas gift guide this year. You can always go and look at my past Christmas gift guides. I stand by those past Christmas gift guides. So there's a whole host of them. I've been doing them like every year for about 8 years. So do go back and have a little look at them. Search Laurel in the Books Christmas gift guide, and you should get some ideas there. I would love to know if any of these things appeal to you, and if any of these things you'd pop on your Christmas list, or any of these things you think you might be buying for people this year. And yeah, I'll see you all again tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Goodbye!